to 1010's podcast.
God damn it, Robbie.
I am your host, Robert Bierhout.
Are you, though?
And across from me is my co-host, Adam Nielsen.
Am I, though?
Aren't we, though? I got made fun of for how fast.
Again?
Yeah, Alex likes to make fun of me.
She's not very nice, is she?
Actually, she's probably the nicest person I met at Gridlife ever.
I don't know about that. That's pretty extreme.
I would go that far.
Okay, fair enough.
But yeah, she always makes fun of me for how fast I do the intro.
Yeah.
And then Scott Robertson.
She's not the first one.
No, Scott Robertson makes fun of me because he thought it was factory fabrication for forever.
Right.
Which is very obviously not.
Lots of people have thought it was factory fabrication.
It's not because I mumble or talk fast.
Fact or fabrication.
Fact or fabrication.
Factor.
Yep. I don't know.
Fucking booty.
I shouldn't be on a hot mic today. I'm fired up.
It's fine, Robbie. Let's do this.
Fucking
Let's say dumb things that we can't take back because, this doesn't come out for a week.
Yeah, by the time then we can cool off and then be like, you know what, maybe I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, fuck it.
It's been a fucking year, man.
I don't think that there's anything like grid life related or anything like that I could say that I would want to take back, I guess.
No, I don't have anything.
And, work related things, no one listens to this, so it's fine.
People listen to this, but the people that listen probably wouldn't. I've already said the things that I would probably say.
Right.
But yeah, no, definitely.
Snitches sleep with fishes.
Yeah. I don't know. If I just rage quit, it is what it is, I
Heck
guess.
yeah.
So if anyone's hiring a mechanical engineer and you're listening to this show.
And you are south of Des Moines.
Yep. The rule is I cannot move further north than Des Moines. That is a self-imposed rule. I'm going to stick to it.
Although his wife is not interested in Texas.
Because Texas is south.
Texas is south.
Everyone knows that.
Yep. Especially the Devil Wears Prada.
Yep. I was interested in Texas. Jess is not.
She is, though. She just doesn't know it.
She'd get over it.
She was like, oh, we could live in Austin. Like, are you fucking kidding me right now?
Yeah, let's live in California.
Really?
No.
You're not okay with Texas, but you're good with Austin?
Yep. I don't know. I threw out Detroit because there's all sorts of stuff.
Detroit's not north or not south of here. I don't know if you know this or not.
I said there's a lot of jobs available that I would be good at.
We've already gone through one geography lesson today.
Yep. No, but Detroit's out because I cannot handle the winters.
Do you really want to work in automotive engineering?
I don't know. You find out the hard way. Like I do everything else.
I suppose you won't know till you try it, right?
Exactly.
You try everything once, Robbie.
Exactly. And even if someone told me I'd hate it,
well, then you'd have to.
I'd have to prove it. That's like fuck you. I would love it.
Yeah,
you don't know.
I mean, spite is strong.
Exactly.
For sure.
I got to learn the hard way every time.
That's fair.
So, yeah, I don't know. Work sucks. I know. They wrote a song about it.
They don't work. They don't know.
Yeah, they're musicians. They just party all night and play music all day.
Drugs and sex and rock and roll.
Yep. Sounds like a way better solution there. But
I
have no musical talent.
We thought that was what podcasting was going to be.
It is,
it's
obviously.
Not.
It's obviously that.
Right. It is. It's not that.
No. It's worse than radio.
Yeah, probably. Because literally any schmuck can do it.
Clearly.
Case in point.
Yeah. And they can do it for years, man.
Years.
No one stops them.
Years.
Literally no one stops them.
At this point, if we can make it to 10 years, I'll be happy.
That's when we start to get better. Everyone knows that.
No, I don't think
it's the 10-year rule.
No, it's 1,000 hours, isn't it?
10,000 hours or 10 years.
10,000 hours?
10,000 hours or 10 years.
That's a lot of hours.
We're almost to 10 years. We're almost good at podcasting. And that's when it'll take off. Like, mark my words. If we stay podcasting for 10 years, that's just like Joe Rogan. He did it for 10 years and then boom! To the roof. I don't listen to Joe Rogan anymore, though.
I only listen to the ridiculous ones.
So all of them?
No.
I don't know. I stopped listening a couple of years ago. I just lost interest, I guess. I have
this intense interest in these people's...
Like the out there people that are...
No, because like some of them are not... I don't know why we're fucking talking about this. But
podcasting, talking about podcasting? Weird.
So he had this... so he had these guests. I couldn't tell you what their names were. I don't know, /clue. But they were all about this like ancient Egypt and like it was an advanced culture and we lost it or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Joe even tries to like bait them into saying
Like weird stuff.
like saying ridiculous things, and they are always like really upfront about like, I don't know what the answer is, but what we have as a society accept as the answer doesn't make any sense. They're
Sure.
like almost annoyingly level-headed about it.
Yeah.
Because they're not like fucking aliens, bro. Like Joe was trying to bait them into that, and they weren't having it.
Yeah.
And it's really disappointing. But also, like, it makes it a little bit more credible for me.
Sure,
in my head.
Like, okay.
So they make some really good points. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I'm intensely fascinated by it.
Yeah. Like,
I don't know whether I believe it or
how
not.
were the pyramids made, man?
How were the pyramids made, Robbie? It's
Time and dedication.
It's ridiculous.
Spite. They were made out of spite.
Well, but that spite could have been a more advanced ancient civilization, Robbie.
I don't know. Spite moved mountains or pyramids.
But it could have been a more advanced ancient civilization.
Or it could have been spite.
before.
Or it could have been
Egypt.
spite. It could have been spite. I just realized I have a sunburn on my lip, and I just pulled a bunch of like,
Nice.
dried skin off my lip. Now it's sore.
It's 'cause
That's how my week's going.
Yeah, you were in the sun a lot this weekend, Robbie.
Yeah, because I wasn't in my fucking car.
I mean, you were in the car a lot.
Fucking fuck.
You just weren't in the driver's seat.
No.
You were hunched over in the back trying to figure out fueling issues.
I don't even think that's the problem. All right, we'll get there.
Yep.
This is a good opener. The opener is presented by Factor Free Fabrication.
Factor free.
For all your fabrication needs, Booney will hook you up. Caged, railed. I said I wasn't going to do advertisements, but I'm going to do it anyways. FactorFabrication.com. Tell Booney that I sent you. He'll build you a skate park.
Tell him that
Mark
I sent
my
you,
word.
and he'll tell you to get the fuck out.
He'll definitely do that, yeah. But he'll build you a skate park if you tell him I sent you. FactorFabrication.com.
Rob,
Yeah, but
should
just,
we talk about this first? I'm wearing mine already.
Yeah, I see
because
that.
I'm
Yeah.
so excited about it.
all right, so months ago,
I don't know if it was months ago.
bro, you've skipped the podcast for a month.
Okay, it might have been months ago.
Months ago.
It might have been like 2 months.
When did this get delivered?
I don't have any idea what that
weeks ago? There's not a date on it.
That's fine.
No, 15th.
Of
2 weeks ago. Literally
15th of what?
2 weeks ago.
15th of July?
Yeah, 2 weeks
Oh.
ago.
I don't know, Robbie. It doesn't matter.
All right, so
Katie-
two
Katie-
weeks 2 weeks ago I got
I
this
have
in the
no
mail.
choice but to blame Katie.
That's fair. So 2 weeks ago I got this in the mail, and I didn't even think about it. I just opened it, and as soon as I opened it, I was like, "You didn't order anything from Amazon. Why are you opening this?"
It's a trap.
It's you know this is podcast material, and as
Right.
soon as I opened it, I was like, "Sure enough," and it's stickers.
Uh-huh.
And it's a picture that's of I assume these are pigeons. And it's 3 stickers with 3 pigeons, and then it has a name tag that says, "Hello, my name is Lies." And then, "Do you still believe in birds?" is what it says. So obviously it's a birds aren't real sticker.
Right.
And I assume this was sent to me by the same person that sent me these shirts because they assumed that you lost them
And for a while, they were correct.
for at least a month.
So Jamie sent me these shirts. He sent me one for you, one for me. They're different shirts.
Okay.
They're different shirts. Did you look at yours?
No, I was hoping. Like,
Oh, well, look at it.
everything I
yours
do
is yours is funny but more subdued than mine.
okay. That tracks.
It fits your personality better for
So
sure.
it's boring.
Mine's
It's boring and dry. I got it. And angry. So it's angry.
I mean, maybe. Well,
Oh, the birds are watching.
yeah, and it's just like a picture of birds. It looks like
Birds
one of
on a
those-
line.
It looks like a trendy Abercrombie shirt.
Yeah, it kind of does, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's kind of like an Alfred Hitchcock movie.
mine
like the
is
birds.
mine is a picture of a pigeon, and it's the anatomy of it, and it shows like where the battery and the CPU and the antenna are, and it says if it flies, it spies, which is fucking hilarious.
I do like your shirt. I do find it.
And I wore this on our way to Road America on Wednesday because I found it Tuesday night when I was packing.
Yep.
And I got 2 compliments from 2 different people in the same gas station.
Where was that gas station?
I don't remember. Cedar Rapids.
Yes. Cedar Rapids is a weird town.
I mean, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
So if it flies, it spies, Robbie.
It sure does. I've always wondered, like, the creator of this stuff is an odd guy, and I've never to this day I don't know if he's serious or this is just like a big joke.
Right? Does he truly believe this, or does he is it funny? Not only that, but
market
not only does he truly believe it, but does he think that so many people believe it as well?
So
Or is
clearly
he in
believe
on the
it.
joke?
Yeah, I don't think everyone that's on the site with the stickers or the shirts are in on the joke. I think that they think that it's dead serious.
So longtime listeners will remember Daniel Dietsch from Oklahoma City.
Yep.
The one who fabricated.
Was he on Radical Podcast?
No, he was not.
Oh.
That was Austin Covey. They're friends, though.
Okay, they're connected.
He's the one who fabricated the van lies.
Okay.
Remember that?
Yeah.
The I'll never drive a minivan or whatever that he stitched together from random words I said?
No, that was real.
No, it wasn't real.
He put it together.
It's not real.
It was flawlessly cut and edited. Or not cut and spliced from a podcast that you said.
Still one of my favorite things ever.
Yeah, it was good.
So stupid. So funny.
It was so good.
But he is a big birds aren't real guy. He
Yep.
thinks that shit's hilarious.
Yep.
And apparently somewhere that he was, there was a pigeon museum, which there's a lot to unpackage there, but we're not going to do
So
that
he was
right
in
now.
Oklahoma.
Well, yeah, probably. And he wore one of his birds aren't real shirts when he went into the pigeon museum.
As you do.
And apparently those people who run the place are very serious about their pigeons.
So they...
And he was kind of getting some
glares.
And he's got a picture of him holding this pigeon.
Obviously not a baby.
Right.
Because you've never seen
a
one,
baby
you know?
pigeon.
Yep.
But he's holding this pigeon wearing this shirt that says something about,
If it flies, it
watching
flies.
goes both ways or something like that. Bird watching goes both ways, I think is what it said.
I bet that dude that started the website is just rolling in money.
Yeah,
For
sure.
Has to be.
And we've sold more than one of them
Yep.
for him.
Yep. Yeah, clearly.
I mean, even besides these.
Yep.
So now I have my own Birds Aren't Real shirt, and I
Yeah.
fucking love it. It's
Okay,
hilarious.
I do find that one funny.
That's way
Yep.
better than Listen Here, Liberal.
Yeah, I'll probably wear this one.
Yeah, you should totally wear that one.
I'd wear that.
Like stroll through West Des Moines Walmart while you're wearing that bad boy.
Okay. Sure.
You'll either get stares down or you'll get thumbs up.
Well, if I go to the east side, I'll just get stabbed.
Well, but that's not the shirt. That's
No. It's
that's just that you got stabbed.
That's just doing business at Walmart, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just a risk.
It's a risk you gotta take, man. Sometimes you need
Better
that.
getting shot. At least we're not in Chicago.
Or, yeah, there's that.
So
2 Illinois slams in 2 weeks. I like it.
I didn't listen to last week's podcast.
Wow. Dusty will be offended.
Willie, though,
Yes.
I've been very busy listening to The Hobbit on book or on tape.
All right. Well, that's like 1 billion pages long. So.
And I only get 14 days to listen to it. And it was
oh, yeah.
so I've been waiting in line for it.
Yep.
And my turn came up on Tuesday afternoon. And I was like, I'm going to waste 5-6 days.
Yeah, I forgot that they make you check those out.
Yeah,
like
and
a
you only get
regular
it for
book.
14 days.
Yeah.
And then you got to go to the back of the line, nerd.
That sucks.
And my time came due on Tuesday afternoon, like fucking 4:45. And I was like, crap. I mean, I thought about
Does it notify you on your phone like a
Yeah.
text message?
Yeah, it
Hey, your
does.
book's available.
yeah, I get a notification on my phone from the app.
Interesting. Audible?
No, I use Libby.
Libby. Okay.
Libby, but you have to have like a library card. It's run
Oh,
through the
yeah, I got
public library
Libby.
system.
I got Libby.
Yeah.
I've just never used it.
And so you can say that you don't want the book yet, and
Yep.
you can pick how many days until you want it delivered, and then they'll keep you in the front of the line.
Okay.
But I was like, man, I've been waiting for this book for a while now.
Yeah.
So I was just like, fuck it, I'm going to take it. And I'm like 4 or 5 hours through it already because I do a lot of driving.
How many total hours?
It's not, The Hobbit's not that long,
Like
actually.
14 hours?
The Hobbit's not too bad. So
About as long as the movie.
no, The Hobbit's not that long.
The movie's 3 hours long, dude.
But the other ones are longer.
They're all long, all the time. Everyone.
So I'm 4 hours and 57 minutes into it, and there's 6 hours and 7 minutes left. I'm 45% of the way through it.
That's not bad. There was one time that we
So-
marathon those, and I slept through half of it, and then we went and saw The Hobbit when it came out, like that day.
Yeah.
So it was like all the movies, and then The Hobbit, and then I fell asleep somewhere in there, and I missed a bunch of it. And then we went to The Hobbit, and I fell asleep in that too.
The long one, is it Return of the King or Two Towers? I can't remember which one's the long one.
They all are, Adam.
The longest one.
Okay.
It's 24 hours on the recording.
Whoa!
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I've never, so you get 14 days to listen to a book. I've never been late on a book.
Oh, yeah.
I've always finished it within my 14-day window. I don't know that I'll finish that one.
You're going to be sitting at home just with headphones in, listening to a book.
I can't do it if anything's going on around me.
Yeah,
Because
like driving is the perfect time.
Driving's the perfect time because I got to be paying kind of attention to it because otherwise I'll space off
Right.
and then I'll miss.
That's why I can't listen to podcasts at work. I have to be like driving or mowing. That's
Music is for when I'm doing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Podcasts and books are for when I'm just
zoning.
driving.
Yep. I'll do podcasts in the shop, but it's rare.
Yeah, you're not going to get much done if you want to pay attention.
Yeah. Usually I'll miss a lot what's going on there.
Yeah.
Like, what are they talking about?
So, oh gosh, I'm going to yawn so much.
All right,
tonight.
so we got these
I'm
presents.
So tired.
Yeah, this week sucks. Not any different than any other week. They suck too.
I mean, you're not wrong. I'm not looking forward to whatever is about to happen.
I am. This is great.
Robbie literally opened his fridge when I got here and laughs to himself.
No, I laughed out loud.
Right, but like
Literally, like it was authentic.
Like-
it was authentic.
yeah, and I'm halfway across his house, which I mean, I don't know what is this 9,000 square feet.
You're like 10 feet from me.
No, Robbie, your house is an estate. It's huge.
It's like literally 10 feet from me.
No, I was well over 10 feet from you.
No, dude, you could throw a wiffle ball.
I
to
was
each other
standing
from
in
me.
your. Well, yeah, you could throw a wiffle ball a long ways.
No, you can't. The
Yeah.
air resistance
You get a lot
pulls
of
it.
behind
No,
it.
it goes like 4 feet.
Whatever. I could.
There's no way you could throw a wiffle ball from one side of my house to the other.
That's what I'm getting at.
Damn it! I said that wrong. Damn it! I said that wrong. I meant you could easily do it.
I could barely throw a football across your house.
Yeah, but that says more about your football skills than anything.
You're not wrong.
All right, so Scott Seelums, I bumped into him and Michael Beck of all people,
He is a
and Bill.
return of the living dead.
Yep, they were at a Cars and Coffee, and they were all posted up in the corner, and I didn't see him. I was just walking. I don't know, Jess and I had nothing to do, so we were making a day of it.
Right.
So we go to Cars and Coffee, and it's the Des Moines Cars and Coffee. It's pretty damn big.
It's slamming now,
They have
apparently.
grown, so it was pretty good. A lot of cool cars. So we're just walking, looking at the cars. I don't really pay attention to like people and
Right.
things around me. I'm just
Yeah.
like in my own little world.
Right. Weird.
Because
that doesn't seem like you, Robbie.
Fuck people. That's why.
You seem like very social, outgoing.
Oh God, no!
Kind of person.
Stay
I
away
don't know
from
what
me,
that-
all of you. Yep. I don't know, like anyone that
funny.
listens to the podcast and then goes and talks to me at events, they have to fucking be like, he's such an asshole. It's because I don't know what to say. Because like John was so helpful this weekend and like wanted to be helpful, and like I was in not the mood to be a friend to anybody. And I see, like now he's like, I can't listen to that podcast anymore because that asshole host.
Nah, because we ran into him before. He knows what he's getting.
That's fair. I try not to be an asshole, but so if you thought I was an asshole, I apologize. But anyways, back to the story of me not being an asshole this time. This time. So bumped in. We were walking, and then Michael and Bill and Scott all like call us out and like, "Hey, we're over here." So we swing over there, and they have this like, they have a French press. They have a table, and they have like a French press and like an espresso maker. And they did like this. They did it. They
I
did it
can't
up,
describe
man.
to you how annoying that is.
It's amazing.
It's so fucking dumb.
So they make me a nice cup of coffee, as you do.
Might be the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
It's the best thing I've ever heard.
Are we talking like $1,000 worth of stuff here?
No, we're like $10.
I bet not.
Okay, but not like a couple dollars.
A couple hundreds.
A good coffee is worth it, Adam.
Okay.
You'll learn.
I doubt it.
Anyways, so good coffee. It was excellent. It was the best coffee I had all day.
I'm all day.
That day, yeah.
I mean, was it the only coffee you had that day?
Of course not.
Oh, I didn't know that you were such an avid coffee drinker.
I cannot leave this house in the morning without coffee, Adam.
I didn't know that. I
If there's no
genuinely
coffee,
didn't know
I
that.
don't leave.
I didn't know.
And
that.
even then, it's a shit day. if I don't start my day with coffee.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that you were such a coffee.
The first thing. I'm like shaking. I need it. Coffee.
All right, then.
I need it.
It's interesting.
Yes.
Learn something new every day.
At events, doesn't matter. Coffee. What do I want for breakfast? Coffee.
Bacon and eggs.
No. Coffee, then bacon and eggs.
No, bacon.
In that order,
Bacon,
Adam.
then eggs.
Coffee, then everything else.
And a code red.
You are a 14-year-old. But anyways, bumped into Michael, Scott, and Bill. Bill gave me some hop tea that I haven't tried yet. But Scott gave me this. I had never heard of it, nor have I had it.
So this is where I'm confused.
Why?
So did Scott have this in anticipation that you might show up? Or was he just carrying this and like, oh, haha, let's give this to Robbie and ruin Adam's day? Or like, what? How did this transpire?
I assume he wasn't planning on seeing me.
Okay.
I'd be shocked if that was his plan all along.
Like, how long has he been carrying this?
Yeah, when does this expire? I was like canned like not even that long ago. Actually, really not long ago.
He probably canned it himself.
2 months.
He's such a hipster.
I
don't know.
But he goes, I got something for you. And he goes to his car, then hands me this can. And so it is Hoplark 0.0 Citra.
God damn it.
This is where I chuckled a little bit. Double dry hopped with Citra hops.
That sounds disgusting.
Forget everything you know. We've reimagined craft. No calories, no sugar, no carbs, no gluten. Flavor bomb at Hoplark. It's gonna be awesome.
He's like an alcohol salesperson or something like that now.
Is he?
He works for a beverage company.
Which is why he gets these delicious beverages.
Yeah, it's probably some sort of sample thing he had.
Ah, smart. Yeah, 'cause, we talked about all sorts of like NA beers and hop drinks and whatnot. Oh, yeah. That's going to be delicious.
I am not looking forward to this.
Hold on. We got to put it in front of the mic.
I brought a water for a chaser. Oh, my God.
I gave you too much.
That's going to be wasted, Robbie.
God damn it. Fuck it.
I'm
going to be really annoyed at the fact how much I just poured in there because
give me a splash. You can have it when I'm done.
No, I don't want to share a drink with you. Germs.
We'll pour more of it into there, and I'll drink it out of the can.
Ooh, smart.
Is that? Wait. Is that going to be big enough?
There. Now I have more, and you have less.
I mean, I had less to begin with, but there's still a lot in there.
That's not a lot. It's a little.
Okay. Oh, man.
It smells citrusy and hoppy at the same time.
That's weird.
Yeah.
That's very weird.
Citrusy and hoppy.
That's super weird smelling.
That's a great smell.
You can only smell it through one nostril.
I know, because the poor feller can't breathe.
That's true. Did Jabay say that at some point?
He literally said it verbatim in the group chat one time. Because we were talking about you on the podcast, and you said something about not being able to breathe or talk or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
And Adam Jabay literally said in the podcast, poor feller can't breathe. That's his words.
Huh.
This smells delicious.
I'm going to like its smell more than its taste. I can already tell you that.
There's more citrus smell than I thought there would be.
Oh.
That's pretty good.
Why is it so bitter all the time?
Hops.
Oh, that's not the worst thing I've ever had.
No, these are good.
But I would not drink that, like, by choice.
That's pretty good. There's more citrus than I was expecting. I would also not describe that as extra dry.
No?
No. It's really not.
I don't know what that means.
It's really not that bitter. Or dry. It's like.
I don't know what that means.
It's a little hoppy. It's almost like a really mild IPA.
It's not very hoppy.
No. But more, I was expecting a lot more. I think I had built in my head that it was going to be like this crazy, over-the-top IPA.
I also thought it was going to be more carbonated than it is.
It's probably because it's been sitting for 2 months. Because you haven't been here.
I'm busy, Robbie.
I have had this like the entire time that we haven't been on the podcast.
We had a summer break. Is that? I mean, are you like into that?
That's pretty good.
Like if you saw that in a store,
yeah.
you'd pick that up again?
Totally. I would totally buy this.
Yeah?
Yep.
Is that better or worse than Liquid Death?
Nothing is better than Liquid Death.
All right, that's fair. No beverage, anyway.
No. I drank a lot of Liquid Death.
I've noticed.
I've definitely switched to that over like NA beers and stuff too. That's just...
I noticed you've been drinking a lot of that. You had like a can or two a day.
Over 2 a day, for sure.
At Road America.
I went through almost 2 cases at Road America.
Did you?
Yeah.
To be fair, it was really hot.
It was hotter than shit out.
I went through an entire case of water.
Yeah, we did that too.
I did what I call the Josh Fettis method of keeping my stuff cold in my cooler, which is that you freeze a bunch of water bottles.
I do that.
And then as the weekend goes on, they thaw.
Yep.
And I froze too many of them. And I was running out of water bottles because I was running into ice bottles instead. Thank God it was 1 billion degrees and they would thaw really quickly when I took them out of,
just real fast.
out of the cooler.
It was hot. Super hot.
Yeah. Oh, man.
That'll make you a little burpy sometimes.
All right, Scott. So, in all fairness, by far not the worst thing that's ever been given to us.
Not even close. It's pretty
Which he's probably a little bit disappointed by, honestly.
Yeah, I was expecting this to be a little bit more of a hoppy punch in the mouth.
Yeah.
To be honest.
That being said, I would not choose to drink that if it was given to me.
I'd like it to be a little more a little bit more carbonated, but probably just the fact that well, even then, 2 months in a can, that should
be fine.
It should still be carbonated.
You said just a few minutes ago that it hadn't been canned that long ago.
That's what I'm saying. 2 months ago. It was canned 2 months ago. That's not long. So, Hoplark Citra. Pretty good.
Is it like a local thing?
I don't think so.
Ingredients: carbonated water, citra hops, and citric acid. Huh.
Does it say where it's from?
That's what I'm looking for. I don't see... Oh. Boulder, Colorado. Of course it is. Boulder, Colorado.
Classic Colorado.
Of course it is. That tracks.
I did see at Road America at the Walmart in Plymouth. Athletic Brewing and like 4 other like major brands like Heineken and Budweiser.
NAs.
And, yeah, had the NAs. Walmart in Plymouth, Wisconsin had an NA beer section.
Well, I
didn't buy any, but
from what we found out during the weekend's shenanigans is that I'm fairly certain that Wisconsin is one of those states where you have to go to a liquor store to buy liquor. You can only buy beer at Walmart.
Correct.
And so they probably have room on their shelves to carry less popular items.
Fair.
Because they're not trying to,
yeah, they don't have any wine.
They don't have to worry about having wine or liquor.
Yeah.
They just have beer.
So yeah, I will say that Plymouth Walmart had more beer selection. Like they had an entire aisle of just like cold beer. So it had everything for beer.
Well, it is Wisconsin.
Yes, which is more than we have at our Walmarts.
That's fair.
I will say that for sure.
That's fair.
Plus, we spent a lot of time at Walmart.
So we went to Road America this weekend. So Gridlife, for those who aren't aware, was sharing, which is probably nobody listening to this podcast anyway, shared a weekend with NASCAR Xfinity and Porsche Carrera Cup.
Yep.
Porsche Carrera Cup finished at least 4 laps under green.
Pretty generous.
During the races, during the 2 races. I think there were at least 4 flyer laps.
Man, they made a Grid LTC look clean. Holy fuck!
I got a wing end plate off of Porsche Carrera Cup car.
Yeah. How'd you get that? You just walk up to the area and take it?
Yeah, I just ripped it right off the car.
Pretty strong.
No, so we were standing by the dyno, or Ryan and I worked the dyno a little bit as needed. We didn't do a lot of dyno things this weekend because it really wasn't like that kind of weekend. But it was right there as you're coming off of turn 14 and you're headed up the hill towards the start-finish line.
Yep.
On the front straight. And there were a couple of cars in the Porsche Carrera Cup class that were consistently going out into the sand in turn 14. They would cook turn 14 just like... I mean, they're like...
Way off.
There were 3 or 4 cars that did it multiple times throughout the weekend that I saw, and I didn't spend that much time paying that much attention to what was going on there.
Yeah, it was a lot.
And one of them, he went off into the sand, and then
this
got into the grass and goosed it and spun the car and slid it all the way across the track, all the way across, I'm guessing probably 10 to 12 feet of grass on the inside, and hit the tire wall on the inside of the exit of turn 14.
It's a pretty common place to end up in the wall.
A shockingly common place to end up in the wall.
Yeah.
And the Porsche Carrera Cup cars are just tall enough that when they hit the tire wall, that the bottom of the wing end plate hits the wall, but the cord slides across the top of it. And so when they hit it, it just goes pop, and it falls inside the tires. And so I gave them a few hours to come and claim it had they decided they needed it.
You waited until the track went cold and then some. Yes.
Yep. I waited until I knew that they weren't coming back to get it.
Well, to be fair, they wouldn't even want it because it's completely ripped out.
Yeah, you can't use it again.
No.
And now it's mine.
So it goes right here now.
And it turns out it's foam core carbon fiber board.
Pretty thick.
It's nothing like it's not a 3D wing end plate. It's nothing fancy.
No.
There's no fancy like Venturis or vortex generators or whatever they're called. It's just a piece of carbon fiber.
As it should be for wheel to wheel. There, I said it.
Yeah, probably. As it probably realistically doesn't make that much difference on most of those cars that do those crazy wing end plates.
No, probably.
So,
yeah, was this the one that also was this a car that spun during the red flag, or was it a green
I think
flag?
it was the same car, but in this particular situation, that was a green flag.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So later on, so there were two cars in that one session that spun there and hit the wall.
Yep.
And this was, I want to say, practice number 2, probably on Thursday. Was the first day.
Yes.
And I think it would have been practice 2. I think they had 3 practices, a quali, and then 2 races, or I can't remember.
Like that, yeah.
Something like that. But on Friday morning, they had a red flag because somebody two cars got into each other, and the kink in one car got totaled.
Very broken.
Like, tub's done.
Broken.
Yeah. And so they were all coming into pit lane, and somebody spun then, which is just absurd.
There's no excuse for that.
It's just absurd. Spun coming out of 14.
Yeah. I'll say it. I mean, that was probably the ugliest racing I've probably ever seen. Ever.
Yeah. We were joking about, like, that they had 4 flyer laps during their 2 races, but
it's not a joke.
The first race, they cross start finish, got the green flag, made that lap and 1 full lap, and then full course caution came out.
And they repeated that.
Or did they red flag the first race and then or black flag all the first race, didn't they?
I think they did. And then
I think they black flagged all the first race, and then they sent them back out. And I don't think that they finished under green. Or I don't think they finished all the way to checker under green. I think that they may have had caution.
Yep.
Full course. And then we were making the joke about, making bets on how many laps they were going to make it before they were
red flag
or black flag all. And
I said 3 laps.
They made it 3 laps before they were full course caution.
Yep.
And we decided that is basically the same thing
at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was almost a copy paste. They made about 2 or 3 laps before it was just like, sorry, no more racing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was not great.
And like, I literally only saw them at turn 14 because they would come
turn 5.
I didn't really see them at turn 5.
Okay.
Because they would come on right after GLTC would finish. Mm-hmm. And so I would have to be at the dyno at that point. Yep. Just in case we needed to compliance check. And so I pretty much only saw them at turn 14. But there were 2 or 3 cars that were consistently in the sand trap at turn 14. Over and over and over again all weekend.
Wild. It was wild. I don't have anything else to say. Like, it was literally wild. I don't get it.
And we went up there and walked through their paddock area. And they have this like insane driver's lounge that's portable.
Yeah, it's like modular.
It's modular, like folds up into a semi-trailer rig, gets picked up and brought to the next race, and it's crazy.
It did look nice. It looked like
It looked like a dance club.
It looked like an airport lounge.
To me, it looked like something that would get set up as like a VIP dance lounge at like Coachella.
Yes, for sure.
It's very futuristic and trendy and air conditioned, and you look out amongst the pores.
Yeah, they definitely did that.
Yeah.
When they rolled through our paddock in their golf carts.
That was the other funny thing, is that you could always tell who was there with a Porsche team.
Yeah, the Porsche teams walked around with their noses in the air, and then
they drove around
on their golf carts.
On their golf carts.
Yep. And then, but honestly, everyone else that walked through the paddock, besides the confusion from the Corvette owners at Dalton's car, everyone else.
There were a lot of really upset people at Dalton's car, which is my favorite thing.
Yeah, a lot of Corvette people, but there was a lot of people just like really enjoying the Gridlife paddock. A lot of spectators, a lot of families that walked through, like a lot of kids.
Yeah,
that seemed to like really enjoy it. One thing I did, because Jason Canterbury parked next to us, and then we created a monster by having Jess and Alex become best friends now.
So Alex is Jason's significant other.
Yes. And then
Just
Jess
so
is obviously Jess is my
on the same
significant
page here. Jason is the McLaren and Omni owner.
Yep.
Just so that everyone's familiar with Jason.
He also has a BMW.
He's living, yeah, I mean, he does, but like, who cares? He's living my best life.
Yep. And then, so we were parked next to him. So as soon as, and we're going to have him on the show to tell about his whole week, not just the weekend.
Yeah.
Week. Because he had a
McLaren ownership sounds absolutely atrocious, and I would suffer through every second of it if I had the opportunity.
Yeah, it was wild. So as soon as actually Alex rolled up in the McLaren
with no air conditioning,
and then opened the door and left it open. So then naturally I walk over to the Z and open the door,
right?
So that they're both sitting there with their doors open. So basically, anytime
they're basically the same car.
Yeah. So anytime Jason would leave the doors up on his McLaren, I'd walk over to the Z and open mine.
Right.
And like, I got a kick out of it.
I thought it was hilarious.
I think a lot of kids that walk by. I mean, there's a lot of people taking pictures and stuff. No, I'm not just both cars, but like
there were a shockingly large number of people that were checking out the Z.
Yeah, for sure. The internet has made me so jaded. I just assume that every single one of them is taking a picture and sending it to their little group chat like we have,
to make fun of
and
you.
Making fun of me for being some stupid asshole. That's my only assumption every time a picture is taken of that car. Never once do I assume that they like it. Never.
I don't think that's the case, Robbie.
No, it's probably not. But every time a picture is taken of my car from a phone, I sit there going, they're making fun of me.
Doors up or down?
Both.
Oh,
Ever.
Really?
Ever.
Doors up, I could see people making fun of you for it. It's jealousy. Let's be clear.
Unless you're my tuner, Joe, in which case I'm surprised I haven't got a bill for his tetanus shot. He cut his knee pretty good climbing in.
Oh, no.
He did. Like, he sent me a picture. I was like, God damn it.
Oh, no.
I was like, why is this bill so high? Oh, right. Tetanus shot.
That's funny.
So, yeah, he cursed the Lambo doors, and I don't blame him. I was like, well, I responded with, what asshole cut that door out?
Should need to put some sort of...
I should.
Get that black... stuff
that rubber edging stuff.
Rubber U-channel edging thing.
Yeah, that would be good. So that'll be part of my fixes, honestly.
Do it for your tuner if you don't do it for yourself.
Yeah, I won't do it for myself, but I'll absolutely do it for them and anyone else that would get in the car.
Well, heaven forbid you inconvenience someone, Robbie.
What's that?
You don't want to inconvenience anyone.
No, exactly. That killed me.
Oh, I would feel so bad.
The entire time he's working on my car, I'm like, I feel like I need to apologize to him. He's like, I found this. I'm sorry. I swear I'm better than this. He goes, no, seriously. You wouldn't believe the shit I see on a daily basis. He goes,
I have no doubt in my mind.
He goes, this is nothing. This is absolutely par for the course on the best of times. Like, don't even sweat it.
For sure.
But I was just like, anytime he'd send me a picture, I was like, God damn it. I'm better than this. I swear. Apparently I'm not, but I swear.
But I mean,
apparently I'm not.
I would assume that you're in better standings with him than Dalton is with Joey.
Oh, yeah. Did Joey call him out of the blue this weekend?
I don't think so, dude.
That's right, because Joe called me.
Oh.
Yeah, so like...
Oh, I see.
So we'll get into it. So we get there Wednesday. We get set up. We're hanging out with Jason. We're hanging out with Dalton. We're hanging out with our crew.
Yeah.
Jason and Alex and their like the entire family and their group they're in our crew now.
Yep. Sorry for your luck.
So anyone else in Grid Life that's like, Jason's our friend. Tough shit. He's our friend. He's our group. He's part of our paddock now. So the 1010s podcast paddock includes Dalton's trailer, my trailer, Jason.
Tommy.
And Tommy, depending on where we're at.
Right.
If you don't like it, too bad. That's ours now. We have claimed him.
I'm weirdly okay with the fact that we've claimed Tommy.
Yep, we've claimed him.
There was a point in my life where I was like, do we really have to do this?
When I first met him, we did not have good vibes.
And I still think that like he causes me some level of anxiety leading up to the event.
That is completely gone.
Nope, he still definitely causes me some anxiety leading up to the event. But by the time it's over, I'm glad he's there.
Nope, I'm the polar opposite. Like I think it was because I had such a rough start with him, and now we're like best friends. Like when we were hanging out at Midwest Festival, it's all good the whole time.
I am in love with his cutout.
Oh, I didn't even take a picture of it. But yeah, so. Yeah, we'll get there.
No,
that's for the Mid Ohio episode.
That we're not going to.
That I won't be there. But yeah, so we got set up, hanging out. The car felt ready. So Joe had been basically working on it for the last 3 weeks. He'd done countless tunes.
Yeah,
legitimately 100 pulls on the dyno, maybe more, probably more. He'd like on and off the dyno for 3 straight weeks. He'd done all sorts of different like trials. Because I was asking for something he'd really never done before. Like I wanted him to basically tune the throttle so we could have options for detune.
Right.
So we worked.
Do you have a new throttle body?
No.
That's the one that was in there before?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I have a spare, but
I noticed that it was not it was an aftermarket one.
No, it's not.
It's not?
It's got a spacer.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was an aftermarket throttle body.
No,
so I was wondering if you had converted to drive-by-wire.
No.
In part of this process.
No.
So I'm sure that had you done that, you would have explained it in last week's podcast, but I didn't listen to that as we've
No, it's all like Z's are always that way.
Okay.
Yep. So yeah, he had it on the dyno constantly, and so I go out for practice, and my fuel gauges are like finicky, and I think what happens is that on my passenger saddle, I did this on purpose because I have had terrible luck.
Yeah.
So the OEM ones fail, especially on an E85 car, which this was originally. So like when I got the car, those gauges didn't work, or the senders didn't work.
Right.
So then my thought process, well, I'll just do aftermarket ones. That everyone has in their fuel cells and race cars. I'll just put one on each saddle. I'll have 2 little gauges because it was cheaper to put 2 gauges and 2 senders than it was to replace either one of the OEM ones. I'm not kidding.
Jesus Christ.
So I'm
stupid.
So I added on the the driver's side, it's a radium non-sheathed one, which is very accurate, but it sloshes and it just does up and down, up and down, up and down.
Oh, okay.
But I will give Radium a lot of credit. It's easily the most accurate and fastest responding one I've ever seen. So,
yeah, I guess.
So, and then on the driver's side, I tried the Tanks Inc. floatless one. And I think that's for whatever, somehow it just like measures the resistance based on where the fluid is. But I think what happens is when the temp goes up, resistance is just fucked. And it doesn't measure anything anymore.
Okay.
So that one, as soon as I'm on track and the car's up to temp, is completely negated. Like it doesn't work at all.
That's annoying.
Very. And then the Radium one works great, but
almost too well.
It's sitting there doing
works
like the gauge
well.
is going back and forth the whole time.
Right.
So I thought I had, based on where the car was sitting on at cold temps, I thought I had probably 10 gallons in my 20-gallon tank.
Okay.
So I went on track. I did opening lap, first, whatever you want to call it, first lap getting up to speed. I think I did second I think on my 3rd lap, I felt like I was fuel starving. Like it was just like cutting out. So I came in. All right, maybe I'm using the fuck out of fuel. Like just using fuel.
Well,
because
Jason
was using a bunch of fuel in his McLaren because he had said that this session before. He's like, man, I went through a whole tank of fuel.
Because he makes 930 wheel.
It happens. But even Dalton.
830.
Well, then Dalton's E85, but Dalton said the same thing. Like
Dalton was going through a ton of
pissing through fuel.
Yeah.
All right. Well, maybe I'm just burning through fuel and I just have to fill this.
And
tank.
I think Dalton was doing multiple gallons a lap.
Yeah. Scott Robertson was doing, I think, 1.5 gallons a lap. I think is what he said. or something.
It's
something
so
crazy.
much time at full wide open throttle, just flat to the floor. It's so much time.
Yep. I think you're on wide open throttle like 70-something% of the time on a 4-mile track. It's
so crazy.
You are burning through fuel. So I came in, checked everything over. Everything felt fine. Besides that, I was like, okay, well, I'm an idiot. I just needed more fuel. Topped it off. Now, at this point, the car's hot, so the gauges are like nowhere even close. So I think I put at least 6 gallons in.
Okay.
I don't think I put any more than that. I think I put 6 gallons in. Went out for practice 2. Copy paste, basically. Right. Probably about, I don't know. It might have even been less laps at this point. And it felt like I was fuel starving. So I came in. Same thing. Checked it out. I thought, okay, well, you're an idiot because you only put 6 gallons in. And now you're out of fuel.
Right.
So then I filled it all the way up.
Yep.
20 fucking gallons.
Like fucking all the way up.
Yep. No, I didn't. I put another. I think I put another 6 in for quali because I was like, well, I'm only going to get a few laps anyways, and I want to be light. So I went, but then same thing. I went out and it was like, had to have been the 4th lap. Felt like it was fuel starving. I was like, well, fuck, you ruined this. So I truly never got.
Well, because everyone knows your fastest on like your 5th lap.
That's that's very true. I don't come on fast. Like I build up to it.
Yeah,
like
you don't.
A lot of people can get on track and just like warm up lap, flyer, and that's like representative of what they're capable of.
Right.
I'm not that driver. I'm not capable of that yet.
No.
So like I build up to it. Like realistically, if I'm doing practice, I will be slow, working towards a faster pace, hoping that I can have a race pace quality lap for qualifying by qualifying. And in all reality, I'm faster in the race than I am in qualifying, almost always. I'm just like
the working up to it thing is what Adam wants.
True. And I will take credit to that, whereas I am very conscious of I don't want to be that asshole that ruins a session for anybody.
Right.
And I don't want to cook it into a corner and ruin my car or the session. There's many reasons why I don't want to be that guy.
Right.
So when everything is out of pocket, I'm okay with being the guy that builds up to it all session.
Right.
So yeah, I just in my head I'm like, all right, well, you did this to yourself. You didn't put enough fuel in the tank. It is what it is. You'll make up for it in the race. You'll be faster throughout the race than you ever were in practice and qualifying. Great. Filled up the car. Went on track. When I got on track, it was, if I wasn't at 20 gallons, it was like 19. Like, it was full.
Yeah.
Get into the race, and I think we did 5 laps, maybe 6 for the whole race. And on lap 4, it felt like I was fuel starving a little.
Again.
And I'm like, I know I'm not. Like the only thing I can think of at this point now is my auxiliary fuel pump is bad. So now every time I'd go around a big right-hand corner, which was every corner. It wasn't just the right-hand corner, but it was every corner. But in my head, I'm like, okay, it's clearly worse on the right-hand corners, even though it might not have been true. Like in the moment, I'm like, it's because of all the right-hand corners. And what I thought was all the fuel was being sloshed to my passenger side, or driver's side, sorry. And then the auxiliary pump wasn't pumping it back over to the passenger side where the main fuel pump is. So that's how my saddle setup is. I have this like Holly mat and a fuel pump that pumps it into the receiver bucket of the fuel pump on the passenger side. And then that's where the main pump is that sucks from that tank. You're going to sneeze, aren't you? Poor feller.
There it is. Oh, man.
And then that fuel pump.
Wow.
So that pickup tube for the main fuel pump should either be fed by the main tank or the auxiliary tank and should, in theory, go to bone dry before it ever fuel starves. And up until this event, I have never, ever had fuel starve issues. So I made it to, I think it was 6 laps before the race was over. So I think I made it to lap 4 before I really noticed it. Lap 5, it was undrivable. I was getting walked away on every straight because I'd come out of a corner, put the foot down, and it was just like, it would just go for a while and just bog down. Like, it just the throttle would, it was like it wasn't getting fuel. And I was just getting walked, obviously, because those cars are.
We noticed in race 1 that, like, you were putting some distance on some of the people behind you. I think you had even passed a couple of cars.
Yeah, I'd moved up.
And then, like, you came back around.
Uh-huh.
Because, like, we don't see you for 2.5 minutes.
Yep.
So, and then you come back around, and all of a sudden you're like 3 cars back from where you were the last time you passed us.
Yep. And I did not make any mistakes. I didn't go off track.
That's what we figured is that, he must have had
Nope.
Must have cooked it into a corner or something.
Nope. It was just anytime I would be full throttle, the car was like, no. I'm sorry, bro. And then everyone would catch me because my throttle was acting like it wasn't, or the car engine was acting like it didn't have fuel.
That's so annoying.
So I came in, and then I've totally misunderstood, and probably like in the moment, like I think I knew it correctly, but in the moment I didn't because. So at the top of grid is the NASCAR Xfinity cars, and then, like that's literally fucking gated off, right?
Yep.
And we can't go in, and that's fine. And then we have like the main grid area, and that has like an exit at the top, which I have never used.
Right.
Because normally when we are at Road America, the way to get back into pits or paddock is the end of grid, which is where the NASCAR people are. So I'm fuel starving like crazy. I cannot do another lap. It's white flag. And I'm seeing it as I drive past it in the pits. And then I'm like, I go past where I can actually go in. And so I get to so I'm like,
Robbie, I got blow my nose. You keep telling
I'll tell the story.
You keep telling the people.
So I get to top of grid, and I keep rolling because I forget the fact that I should have exited here because that's where all the peasants exit, not the NASCAR people. So then I go all the way past the NASCAR people, and then I get to the end and I stop, and I'm like telling there's a security lady there, and I was like, I'm having a mechanical issue. I can't go back on track. She's like, well, you can't come in here. And I was like, well, what do you want me to do? I'm having a fucking mechanical. I should not be on track. And she's like, you got to go to turn 5. And I was like, God damn it. So then I go back on track, and I'm like, I'm gonna ruin this fucking race for everybody on the last lap.
We just decided that you finished first.
That's fine.
You somehow managed to get in front of everybody.
That works, I guess. Yeah. So
that's what we were going for.
Yeah. So I felt like I was like, Jabez gonna get yelled at from me, like because the NASCAR lady had to yell at me. I don't think it ever made it back to it, but I was just like, I was so annoyed with myself. I was like, I knew I should have exited at the first one, and I made it to the NASCAR one, but then I'm like, I don't want to be on fucking track right now.
Right.
This car shouldn't be on track. I'm telling her this, like, this is a mechanical failure.
Right.
Go to turn 5. Fucking fuck. So yeah, just stayed off the racing lines, watched my mirrors. Luckily, like, everyone had made it past that point, and I was like more worried about the leaders catching me on the last lap. But no, luckily it was clean. No one was around me. I came in on turn 5, no issues whatsoever. The car was fine. But yeah, so then I dive into it. First, I check out my auxiliary pump on the driver's side. So I pull the cap off the saddle. I pull the pump out. Do a bunch of tests, like getting the correct voltage. It's priming like it should. It's pumping like it should. My fuel pressure is good.
Yeah.
So you just sneeze again?
No, I'm good right now.
So then I'm like, well, fuck, I don't know. I mean, I'm already here, so I put that all back together. Then I check the passenger side, which is the main fuel pump. So I pull all that out, checking everything, making sure like an O-ring's not bad, because I know like if you have a bad O-ring, that'll cause fuel starvation issues sometimes. Those all look fine. Same thing, like the pump was doing what it's supposed to do, primed like it was supposed to, like it just like you turn the car on, it would pump like it was supposed to. Everything seemed fine. Put it all back together, and as I'm like putting the main fuel hoses back onto the high pressure line and the return line, and I'm tightening it, and like I go to like put the main one back on, and it just like disintegrates in my hands. It's like, God damn it. And it's like this is like obviously a 350Z specific part, and so the plastic of the main high pressure line broke off. So the option was, and I should have took John up on this, because John offered, because he was going back to Milwaukee. He's like, because I think it was AutoZone or Advance had one, but it had like, of the 5 reviews it had, 4 of them were bad. I was like, God, I don't want to spend $160 on something that I know is going to fucking break. Not to mention the fact that I have to basically disassemble it completely to put all my stuff into it, and I need to drill out the fact because from the factory they're returnless, and I have a return setup.
Oh, they're returnless? I didn't know that.
They're returnless. From
I thought that was basically a factory setup. On that car.
No, it's not. This is like the same setup he ran on his setup for the twin turbo car.
Right.
So I was like, well, fuck, I spent $160 to have him go get me this piece I'm going to cannibalize. And I don't trust it. I feel like it's going to be like this cheap, shitty plastic that if I try to drill through it, I'm just going to crack it all to hell.
Right.
I was like, just don't do it. Like, I want you to, but I don't want you to. Like, it's going to cost me twice as much money if I just wait.
Right.
And I honestly didn't think it was going to save the weekend. So we tried JB Weld because you have to, right? Like, it's not going to work.
We're there.
It's not going to work, but you got to try it anyways.
Right.
So
I had high hopes, honestly.
It failed in a way I didn't expect it to.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So like I went and got JB Weld, and I put it all back together, and I had it held just so, and everything. Like I actually put it on the like on the piece where it broke off. I actually put it on like as if I was welding it together, right?
Yeah.
Like gluing it together in the center.
Right.
So like the seams all lined up, everything was good, and it was like pressed in. And then I like caked it on there and had like a nice little like putty mound all the way around.
Yeah.
All the way, like way past, all the way to the fitting. Like, so I was like, this fucker's sealed, right?
I mean, it looked like it. I don't know how it could have not been.
So
there's so much JB Weld on there.
So in the next, like, I literally went through a whole tube. went through a whole tube.
And you had you were in there with the UV light.
Yeah.
And all kinds of crazy stuff. Like, you were getting after it.
Yeah. Because to hold it in place, I used the JB like super glue that you dry with the UV light. So I use that to hold it in place. And then I use the actual JB Weld to go all around it. And then literally the next morning, I'm like looking at it going, all right, let's try it. Turn it on to prime, and it just shoots straight out. Like, so everywhere that I was worried that it was going to leak, like the cracked points, didn't leak. It was like the JB Weld didn't adhere to anything on the actual fitting part of it. So it just sprayed
its way up and then shot it out.
It went straight out to the side of the car, like to the, like to where the fitting attached to it. Right. So it just went
towards the quarter panel.
Basically, yeah. I was like, well, guess we're hanging out today.
Guess we're done.
Yep. So I tried, and then even if it had been just like a tiny drop, I still wouldn't have gone on track because I woke up in the middle of the night with a dream that it had like that the I don't know, like the resonance or like the bouncing or whatever, just the fact of being on track, like the violent shaking of the car just being a race car, was enough to crack it anyways.
Okay.
So in my mind, I had a dream that it was fine, that I got on track, and that after like no time at all, it just like cracked itself off and then sprayed fuel everywhere, and then I ruined everyone's race. That I literally had that dream. And so when I woke up and it leaked, if it leaked at all, I wasn't even going to consider it.
Right.
And then it just sprayed against the wall. I'm like, well, that answers that.
Yeah, that was pretty. I noticed you were very quick to be like, well, we're done here.
I can't force it from this point.
Fuck.
So at that point, I hadn't composed myself enough to call Joe at Dula Design. I wanted to kind of wrap my head around what was going on, get some composure, and then call him. And then just kind of like, what do you think, man? But he called me.
Yeah.
And then asked how things were going. I was like, shitty, man. I can't even explain it. It doesn't make any sense. So we kind of went through some. He had me pull all the plugs. We checked that everything looked good there. So it wasn't like. I mean, we just did a bunch of sanity checks, right? And then we went and checked all the sensor wiring. We checked a bunch of stuff, and then I talked about like what we were doing with the fuel system. Because at this point, it was we're done. I can't check fuel pressures anymore because it's not gonna work.
Right.
So we have a list of things to buy, like long term, short term. We want to diagnose because he's just like me. His first thought process is, oh man, I fucked up that tune. What's wrong? Like, clearly there's something wrong with the tune. So he's sitting there like going through his files, like reading, like going through everything line by line, going like, or what? Obviously it's not code, but you know what I mean, like going through his settings and just seeing like, okay, what did I fuck up here?
Right.
Nothing. There's nothing wrong with the tune. But like, so I'm doing the same thing on the other end, going, I fucked up this car.
Yeah.
Everything's fucked.
I'm the worst mechanic on the face of the planet.
I am a worse mechanic than Abe says Adam Jabay is. That's how I am.
Well, that might be true. I don't know.
No, Abe thinks
Gervais the worst mechanic in the world.
I know.
And I can't describe to you how wrong Abe is about
I know
that,
he
but
is.
whatever.
But that's how in my head I'm like, this is the worst. I'm the worst. Everything's terrible.
Cars are dumb.
I was so frustrated. Like, and because the car felt fucking awesome.
I know, right? You came off practice one like pretty pumped.
I was like, I obviously hadn't pushed the car at all.
Right.
But like, I felt really good about it.
I
Didn't
remember
even cross
you
my mind.
making comment about like, oh, I'm right there with, I don't even remember who, but like a car that like is normally a pretty solid contender and you know, well above you.
Yeah.
And you guys just happened to go out
Yeah, we're like,
nose to tail, and like you were chasing him down. You were keeping up with him.
yeah,
Like a driver who's
especially for overslowing in every corner at that point,
a driver
breaking
who
into
tends
the
to
kink.
who tends to be 10 to 15 places ahead of you pretty consistently, and you know you're right there with him. And so like fuck yeah, man, let's do this.
No, there was seconds, like literal second, like that I was absolutely leaving on the table, that I knew I was.
Oh, I'm sure you
I
had
was gonna-
229 in there, Robbie.
No, that's impossible. I don't know how
It's not impossible.
I don't know how they fucking
I've
do
seen
it.
it done,
There's
Robbie.
clearly something.
It's
there's,
not
there's
impossible.
clearly a piece of the puzzle I'm fucking missing because
All
I
I
don't
know
get it.
is Jeremy Swenson is a god on the brakes.
Yeah, he breaks later than everybody.
Everybody.
It's wild.
Like 50 feet later coming into turn 5.
It's crazy.
which is a remarkable distance
Yep.
given that corner.
Yeah, I think Luke Magruder did 228.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy.
In race.
Just so we're clear, GLTC times and the all-wheel drive track mod record are almost the same fucking time.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah. It really, and I've talked about this before, and I realize that I do not have a leg to stand on when I'm being critical about time attack drivers. But when you look at the times that GLTC cars do compared to the times that a lot of time attack cars do, you're like, what are you guys doing?
It's
Like, we've got cars showing up with 600 wheel, more tire, more aero, and going just as fast or even sometimes slower.
it's wild. They're aliens, man.
Aliens.
They find like the top 15, top 10 for sure. Find some sort of like wormhole on the back straight and then just like warp through it. That I clearly I can't find that.
It's closed by the time you get there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, and then if there's any one track on our calendar, the Gridlife calendar this year, that is a power-dominated track that, like, a lot of our crazy horsepower time attack cars should just fucking run away with, it's Road America.
Uh-huh.
And, I mean, Luke McGrew would have been on the podium in, like, almost all of the classes this weekend.
It's wild, dude.
With a 228.
Fast. So fast.
So fast.
Yep. No. I need to go back to I have to go back to like mid of TT to remind myself I'm not the worst driver in the world.
Your life's funny that way.
Because competing against these aliens is always remind. Like,
Yeah,
it's
you took the Z. You took the Z to Heartland Park earlier this year and were accused of cheating.
I was, and that was when the car was fucking misfiring.
Right. And now
like
you're like, why do I even fucking bother?
why do I even build this car?
These people are insane. They're superhumans.
Yep,
They're freaks of nature.
it's insane. Grant,
Robbie is the cop on Superbad.
he's the fastest. They're the fastest drivers alive.
He's the fastest person alive.
Yep.
He's a freak of nature.
Yep, they all are.
As you're like standing there with your fucking hands on your knees, just like trying to catch your breath.
Just dying, yeah. Granted, I'm not saying the Z should be top 10 because it's not set up, and I'm clearly leaving a lot of time on the table as a driver. I'm fully aware of this. I accept that.
Yeah, fine.
Man, they're fast. My God.
Crazy.
Yeah. But other than that, like, really enjoyed the weekend. Enjoyed the buddy hangs the most.
It was a great weekend for that.
It was good.
So our off-track shenanigans weren't quite as crazy as
No.
I kind of hoped they would be.
I
had higher expectations of the crowd.
Yeah, so
The crowd let me down, Robbie.
There was one thing that the crowd loved, and that was the
Hart Alabama minivan.
Yeah, the Honda Odyssey minivan race car got cheered every lap.
It's true.
But the weird thing about this event is because at Road America, every
so annoying.
Every person that's camping there is off in the trees. So there's more people there than that Midwest Festival, but none of them are near the paddock. They're just off in the trees being tree people. They're there. You know they're there, but you don't see them. So yeah, there was thousands of people in those trees.
Dude, we went for a drive. So we ended up renting golf carts at a not small sum of money.
They were not cheap, no.
No. But we ended up renting a couple of golf carts. And, I mean, it takes 15 minutes to drive from one end of that place to the other on a golf cart.
Yeah. Because we went, cause obviously my race weekend was over. So we went over to turn, technically 2.
It's not a turn, Robbie. That's straight 2.
We were between 2 and 3.
There's not a corner there, Road.
There's neither one at 4.
2 and 4 don't exist.
I'm
okay,
fully aware.
That is a 12-corner racetrack.
I'm fully aware.
Sorry, Wisconsin. Get used to it.
I agree. I couldn't agree more. So Jason brought. Whatever. So we brought 2 golf carts to bring like 6 people over there, right? And because they yell at you if you bring more than 2 people on a golf cart.
Yeah, we were shuttling.
Yeah, so we were shuttling. So we brought a couple of people over, and then we go back and get more people. And by the time Jess brought us, or me, in the golf cart, and then went to go get Dalton. And by the time she got Dalton and got back, the race was over.
The GLTC race?
Yes.
The race 4?
3 or 4. It had to have been 4 because it was the race that Scott didn't finish.
Oh, okay.
Because I think he raced 3. Pretty sure.
I think so too.
I can't remember, but yeah, it was 3 or 4. One of the other.
Right. That's hilarious.
Yeah, Dalton completely missed the entire race.
That's going from the bottom of the front straightaway to the top of the front straightaway.
Uh-huh.
It takes that long to get places.
Yep. There was a lot of people walking around at that point.
What's really annoying is that it's this huge place in the middle of Wisconsin, which has more lakes than Minnesota.
Yeah.
Just ask a Wisconsinite. They'll tell you.
Wisconsin. You're saying it wrong.
Whatever. It's forest and lush prairie and not a fucking single hole of water with a fish in it.
Inside the track.
The track facility.
How many fish did you catch this weekend? Not counting Sunday?
0?
Terrible track.
Yeah. I caught like 24 at Gingerbread. I'm just saying. I still can't believe there's not a pond inside the facility.
I'm kind of blown away by that.
Yeah.
You would, because even Hallett has like 2 ponds.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, I'm going to Hallett for sure. That's my new goal in life is to fish at racetracks.
I don't blame you.
Also, fish illegally in all 49 states I don't currently have a fishing license in. That's my secondary goal.
That's fair.
I mean, Ohio stocks their pond. I'm just saying.
That hardly counts. It's like shooting fish in a barrel, literally.
No.
Yup.
I mean, it wouldn't have been any different than fishing the retention pond in front of the Walmart.
There's no fish in there.
There's fish in the retention pond
that
in front of the Walmart in Plymouth, Wisconsin. I promise you.
I will take that slap bet all day.
I am so confident there's fish in there. I am almost willing to slap bet you on it, Robbie.
If you were that serious about it, you would have done it.
I never had a chance to.
You had all the chances. We drove to Walmart like 4 times.
I only drove there twice.
I drove there.
I only drove there once. I drove by it a second time to show Dalton the pond, which he agreed is definitely fish worthy.
No.
I think you'd be shocked where you can find fish.
That's fair.
I think you'd be shocked, Robbie.
All right. So one of the weird things about the whole weekend.
So obnoxious.
So
So Friday after?
No,
Thursday afternoon.
Because the week's all weird. 'Cause we get there Wednesday. So
Yeah.
Wednesday we get there. We do our thing on Thursday, and then at like
6 or 7?
6 o'clock.
Well,
they
okay,
basi-
first of all, track goes cold every day at like 4.
yeah, it's crazy.
Which is
There's
really
so much
weird.
dead track time.
It's really weird because, like, I'm so used to, like, I have a certain amount of hours between the time the track goes cold and the time that it's time for bed.
Yep.
But, like, if I use those same number of hours at this event, I'm going to bed at like 9 o'clock,
That sounds nice.
which is fine. But at a normal Gridlife event, that's like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yep. So on Thursday, I don't know, like 6 o'clock, they're basically saying if you need to get out of here, you need to be out of here by 6.
Right.
Because we're shutting the shit down so that we can have all the haulers roll in at
The
once.
NASCAR haulers.
As a parade.
It's a parade of NASCAR haulers.
And I totally understand why they do it, because this way they have them all staged. It doesn't matter what time they showed up in the day.
Right.
Now they all roll in at the same time. They can line them up just like so.
Bam, bam, thank you, ma'am.
Yep. Just it's as efficient as
It's
can possibly
Jabay's
be.
dream, frankly.
It's almost like they tried to do at Midwest Festival, having everybody go to Walmart.
Right.
It worked. It was as fast as you could imagine for
Yeah.
moving that many haulers into such a small place.
Yeah, absolutely.
But they also they're like, it's a parade for all of the fans.
For all the fans that are not there.
So
yet.
so like there really isn't a lot of people standing around, but every single truck is equipped with a train horn, and every single one of
course
them
they are.
basically just hangs on their little wire cable thing for it, and they just like the whole way.
And it's a mile or like a mile and a half from the time they come out of the tunnel to the time they get to the top of the hill where they're parked. And there's like 40 or 50 of them.
Yeah, there's so many. So many.
I mean, it took 15 minutes for them to go by and stop honking their horns.
Yep.
It was so obnoxious.
It was excessive.
After like the 5th or 6th holler, I was like, are you fucking kidding me right now?
This
Can't be real.
I was kind of blown away by how many there were. 'Cause I'm like, there can't be that many more, right?
They just kept coming.
It felt like there was twice as many haulers as there were race cars.
It did seem weird that there were so many, because I mean, I would assume that, I guess I assumed in my head, because they're all semi trucks,
Yeah.
that most of those are teams,
Yeah.
and that there's probably 2 cars in each one of them.
I figured 1 car per truck. That's what I had.
It is, which
Which is probably true. Which is probably
crazy.
true. But there seemed to be more cars than I thought there
Right.
were. 'Cause it felt like there was like 60 haulers. There probably wasn't, but it felt like it.
Well, I think there was like 40 cars.
It's still 20 less than it felt like.
Well, I don't know that a few of them made it all the way through practice and quali.
It happens, man. Even the pros don't get it right sometimes. I don't know.
So,
Yeah. No, it was the Porsche paddock had its own little area. They only came down to
gawking
raise
us.
their noses at us. The Xfinity people were in their little caged area.
They never came down.
They never came down. They never left their little caged area,
Nope.
which is fine.
They're lost, frankly.
That's absolutely. But yeah. But we can talk about shenanigans in a second. But I will say that thoroughly enjoyed the Xfinity race. We sat up on top of race 5, or actually, yeah, we basically all sat around turn 5.
Yeah, we watched it from both sides.
Yep. So we stayed at the bottom, and then we kind of went up a hill and got in the shade because I was getting sunburned.
Yep.
As my complaints about my broken lips earlier.
Yep.
But it was a super fun race. I got into it. Like I kind of like the NASCAR's on road courses. I always kind of enjoy that.
I mean, it's so cool. I was disappointed that they weren't the next gen cars. I was really excited to see the next gen cars, but
Agreed.
it wasn't a Cup weekend. It was just an Xfinity weekend. So fine, whatever. It's too long.
No, it's just the right length.
It's too long.
No, it's just the right length.
It's too long.
I don't like the stages.
The stages thing was confusing, and apparently
Technically 3 races.
they plan it out,
Yep.
but they pick it willy nilly. They like I understand the first one they went early
Because of the caution.
because of the caution. That's fine, but then like the second one, because the first one went early, the second one had to run long.
Oh, yeah. Because there was only like 10 laps left on the third stage or whatever.
Right.
But
And then the third stage was
then they had overtime because
really
of the
short.
crashes. Yeah.
right. And then we went into double overtime
Yep. That was kind of annoying.
because
But
they have to take a yellow or a white flag.
Yep.
So they can't take a white flag under caution.
Yep.
So they had two rounds where they had cautions, went green flag, and didn't complete the lap to get the white flag before they had to go full course caution again.
Yep. And my only complaint, and again, it's not really a complaint because it's not in anyone's control. But the reason it took forever and a half was because somebody had a crash, kept fucking going, and literally oiled down almost the entire course.
Yeah.
Like the whole thing.
Yeah.
So it took forever
And
to
then
clean
it
up.
completely destroyed a bunch of people's races right at the very end.
Yep. People that have been running in the front the whole race.
Right. The guy
lost it.
One of the guys led I don't remember, it was like 40 out of 45 laps or something like that.
Yep.
And lost. Got way back.
He didn't finish.
Yeah, he did.
Did he?
Yeah, but he was like 12th or something.
Oh.
I mean, he was back there
I was thinking Allmendinger.
because he spun.
Yeah, Allmendinger got crashed out.
Yeah, Allmendinger got crashed
yeah,
out.
that's
But he didn't lead as
No.
much. He's the only other one that led until the last lap.
Yeah, Allmendinger, Custer, and that was probably the guy that won the race. I can't think of his name.
No, it wasn't the guy who won the race. Custer was in second most of the race.
Yes.
He was in the Haas car in second.
Yes.
And I can't for the life of me remember who was in first. It started with an A. Like Alliger or something like that.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, alligator.
Might have been
Alligator? Yeah.
Alliger?
Yeah. It's
Something like that.
Yeah.
We're huge fans.
Well, I thoroughly enjoyed it. You were like halfway through the race, like, this is so boring. And then you're like literally
The end was
cheering.
great. The end was great.
Which is the problem because you're sitting here complaining about overtime, but it gave us exciting fucking laps.
Yeah, it did.
The only reason it wasn't exciting is because you had to wait 10 minutes for them to clean up.
But Jabay is right. The most excitement is the first 5 and the last 5 laps. Just cut the shit out in the middle.
He's not wrong.
Let's go.
Yep. No, the only thing I'm disappointed about was that we were 1 week off of IMSA.
I think an IMSA support weekend would be really cool.
Wouldn't miss that for anything.
That would be cool.
Yeah. That would
The
be
crowd wouldn't be as good. I don't think as many people show up for an IMSA weekend.
I think you'd be surprised.
I probably would be at Road America, but I think on average most tracks get fewer people for IMSA weekends than they do for even Xfinity weekends.
Yeah, I would bet it'd be on par with an Xfinity series. I think for a Cup race it'd be totally different.
I was told that there are like upwards of 100 to 150,000 people there for Cup weekends.
Ooh. But you wouldn't know it because they're everywhere in the trees.
Yeah,
See, it's kind of nice.
but we wouldn't have gotten out there very quickly.
No,
Like we
it took
did.
us forever.
Yeah, we'd still be there trying to load up.
Yep. Yeah, and we didn't have too much crazy shenanigans.
No, so Jason Kanakary,
All right, is it Kanakary or Kanakary?
I think it's Kanakary.
No, it's
You pronounce it your way, I'll pronounce it my way. We'll both be
it's
wrong. It'll be great.
Kanakry. Kanakary.
Kanakary.
Kanakary. There's no e in there.
I don't know.
It's Kanakary.
It's cry at the end, frankly.
He's gonna tell us.
That's
that's what's the nice
That's
part
fine.
about it.
I think you and I will just continue to pronounce it our way.
Fair.
And even if we're both wrong, we're not changing it.
Fair.
All right. Good. I'm glad.
When he's
we
on the
agreed
show,
something.
we'll still do it that way.
Yeah. So he's a fancy boy. McLaren owners,
McLaren
things
owner,
like
yeah,
that,
yeah.
you know. So he's never had bagged wine because he's not white trash enough. Dalton,
Have you ever had bagged wine?
no.
But you haven't drank for a long time, so that's fair.
I mean, I don't. Yeah. I've taken a sip or two of Katie's wine before, but she always buys like
Little bottles.
little bottles because
Yeah.
she'll never even finish the bottle.
Yeah.
She'll drink like 1 or 2 glasses out of it, and then I'll end up throwing it away 2 months later,
Happens.
which is fine. I don't care. It's whatever.
I'm pretty sure I've had bagged wine.
But anyway, Dalton, because he's the white trash king, has never had wine out of a bottle. So it was an interesting situation here. And so we decided we needed to solve that problem. And so maybe this is a small town Iowa thing because I was aware of it.
I was fully aware of this.
You were aware of it.
Yeah.
Dalton clearly was aware of it, but I don't think anybody else had ever heard of slapping the bag.
I'd be curious how many people had so if I say slap the wine bag, how many people on the consortium
Yeah.
are aware of this?
So for those uncultured swines, what you do when you're drinking bagged wine,
You take it out of the box.
you take it out of the box, you have a second person hold it up in the air, and you smack the shit out of it.
Slap it as hard as you can.
Just open palm, just
Yep. Like a punch bag, but you slap it.
And the reason, because obviously it's to aerate it, Robbie.
Duh.
It makes it better. And then you pop yourself under, pop the spigot open, and just
Chug.
just take it.
Yep. Just like doing.
And then the next guy gets in line, he slaps the bag too. That's what you do.
Yep. Until the bag is gone or broken.
Right.
Then usually the bag is gone before it's broken.
Yeah, we had some hard slappers apparently.
Yep.
So we made Jason do that,
Yep.
and he was like not sure about it.
So before we got that, I had gone to Walmart because I needed to, and then they had tasked me. I can't say it.
The
non-drinker with finding box wine.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, well, Walmart will have it. Duh.
Yeah.
So I went to Walmart. No, we're in Wisconsin. So then I'm like, okay, maybe it's just a weird Walmart, right? I was like, so then I went to Walgreens because I know Walgreens sells wine, and I walked in there. And I went to their little tiny little beer section, and I walked to their cold beer and warm beer sections. Then I grabbed a checkout girl, and I was like, "Do y'all have any wine?" And she kind of looked at me and she's like, "If we did, it'd be right there." I was like, "You were in Wisconsin. Like, you should know whether you have wine or not, apparently, because no one has wine." Yeah. And then what else? I tried. There was one other spot I tried. I can't remember where. They also had no wine. And then I didn't see
Quick Trip? Didn't you go to Quick Trip?
Quick Trip. I checked Quick Trip because they also had a lot of beer.
Yes.
But didn't expect liquor, but no wine whatsoever. Like, not even wine coolers. So then there was a liquor store somewhere that I clearly was not aware of.
Discount liquor, I think is what
Somewhere.
it's called, which is really just...
And I'm sure I drove right past it and didn't realize it,
Right.
but I didn't see it.
Right.
Otherwise, yeah, I for sure would have stopped.
Yeah.
But yeah, I couldn't find it. But then, so Jason and Alex leave to go grocery run or whatever they were doing.
Right.
And then they went and they found the liquor store. So then he is the one that bought it. So he bought the bagged wine and then a bottle of wine, which is funny because the bagged wine costs more than the bottle.
It ended up that the bottle was cheaper, yes.
But the bag is twice as much.
That's true.
At least twice.
So it was cheaper per fluid ounce.
Yes.
Which is what matters.
Yes. It's
Quantity over quality.
That's why Dalton left Wisconsin with a lot of hams.
I'm sure he did. He bought many. He was fucking pumped when we walked into that Quick Trip, and it was $13 for a 30 rack of hams, and he didn't have to pay 5 cents a can there.
Oh yeah,
there's no no can deposit there.
Yep.
So that extra 5 cents a can is gone.
Man,
he was pumped, dude.
Yeah, I'd be curious how many he actually bought. Because I know he said he was gonna.
Right. So, Jason slapped the bag. Dalton slapped the bag. Jeremy Salinas slapped the bag.
Yep.
And then we snagged Jeremy Boyson, who's also a fancy boy.
Yeah, who had like real wine in his bungalow.
Like hundreds of dollar bottles of wine because he's a crazy person.
And thousands of dollars worth of bourbon, I would imagine.
Yeah, well, I mean, that just comes with the territory. But we made him, and he fought. He resisted.
For quite a while.
We were able to eventually get him to slap the bag.
We definitely scumbagged him into it.
But he was the last one who got to slap the bag because that was it. I think Ryan maybe
slapped
too.
it and broke it.
Right.
And then, no, because Ryan did it right away and broke it. And then
Ryan did it second.
And then he held it to keep it together.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. But Jeremy was the last person who was able to slap the bag, and then we had to just throw it away.
Yep.
JB was. So.
And then, of course, he complained about how terrible it was.
Yeah, so Dalton did actually say that the bottle was delicious.
I'm sure it was a little.
He actually really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So, and then Jeremy Salinas' significant other finished it later on in the night for us.
Nice.
So
that's funny.
That was weird for sure.
The best part, I think, for me was as we're getting this ready and we're starting to slap the bag before Boyson comes over. His small daughter is hanging out.
Yeah, he's got a daughter. She's probably about my son's age, I would guess, like the 5 to 7, maybe 8-year-old range.
Yeah, I'd say she's got to be a little bit older than your son.
I can't remember if she's the oldest or his son is the oldest.
I can't remember.
So he's got 3 now.
Yes,
and I feel like she's the middle child. I think.
Okay.
I think she's the middle child, and his son is a year older than mine.
Okay.
So she's in like the 5 to 7 range.
So honestly, I don't know why she ventured over to our paddock and was just like hanging in our group.
So apparently her and, I don't know how this came about, but her and Alex's mom, Cheryl,
I don't remember,
bonded.
Because like it was one of those things like we met, we introduced ourselves, and then we never said each other's names the entire rest of the weekend.
Right.
So that I forgot.
They bonded. At one point, Jeremy's daughter brought her Freezy Pops.
Oh, I love Freezy Pops.
I don't know. But that's how she ended up with us.
Okay. That makes perfect sense.
Also, Nick Gardner's dog
is a great, well-behaved dog.
Right. Her and Jeremy's daughter.
Yep. Bonded as well.
Right. And so I think she was originally there for the dog.
That makes perfect sense.
Right. So anyway, she was there while we were slapping the bag.
Yep. And Jeremy wasn't.
Completely unbeknownst to Jeremy and his wife.
So then they roll up and like, what are you guys doing? And we're slapping the bag. And then all of a sudden he looks over like, what are you doing
He's
here?
Like, what the fuck are you doing here? Oh, it was so funny. Yeah. Yeah, she
didn't slap the bag. Just
no, we didn't let her slap the bag. I mean, I wouldn't put it past Dalton, but we're better.
No.
Dalton did at one point try to teach my son to shotgun Capri Suns.
But that's,
I saved a cat.
Oh, yeah.
So Grant Davis of Professional Awesome fame, him and his significant other were there this weekend, and apparently their cat has some sort of sickness, disease thing. I don't know. I'm not quite sure, but for some reason it requires a higher than average level of cat maintenance, which is kind of a bum deal.
Yeah, because cats usually have no maintenance.
That's the point of cats.
Yeah.
Is that they're minimal maintenance.
Yeah, you can leave for a weekend.
Right. So they have to bring it with them, and so they have a harness and a leash. And on Friday night, there was a sprint car race that the Canadians and a bunch of other people went to.
Yep.
And Grant Davis was there with the Canadians. And so they left the cat in their tent, and the cat managed to figure out a way to get out of the tent, as cats are known to do, and then went for a walkabout, and the cat just came strolling out of the back of the stacker like she owned the joint. And so I remember the night before seeing them walking their cat around on the leash, and I was like, dude, I swear that's the same cat. So I picked it up, and we went over there, and they were all gone. So then we went and found Jabay, and he took a picture of it and sent it to James, and he's like, yep, that's their cat. And then they're like, James is like, can Adam keep it? Adam being me.
Yeah.
Keep it until they get back because they don't want it to escape out of the tent again. And I was like, abso-fucking-lutely. I would love to walk this cat around the paddock. That sounds amazing. And so they came running back from the sprint car race, and I actually told them like more than once, like, go back to the race. I'll keep your cat.
Yeah, it's fine. It's not hurting.
They weren't having it.
Oh.
They felt too bad and like that they had already interfered too much.
Are they from the Midwest?
Yeah. He's originally from Iowa.
That'll do it.
Yeah. But I would have been totally fine hanging out with their cat the rest of the night.
Yeah, it wasn't hurting anything.
Yeah.
Super chill. I kept kind of playing Houdini with the harness.
Yeah, he could get out of the harness. So she said that they had one that showed up after they left from Amazon that's supposed to be like a size smaller to fit him better. But it showed up right after they left their house. That's classic.
As it does.
Amazon orders do.
Yeah, literally hours after you leave.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah, we slapped the bag. We saved a cat.
Yeah.
So
got sunburned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drank a lot of water.
Definitely a lot of liquid death.
So,
smelled a lot of gas fumes.
Dynoed a couple cars.
Dynoed some cars.
Yep. Dynoed Jason's BMW.
Yep.
And that Lexus RCF GT3 car.
Oh, yeah.
With the 5-liter V8 in it.
Yeah. That's a good
Dynoed that. That was cool.
I like that one. Sounds good.
Yeah.
It's a good sounding car.
Yep. So,
yeah.
All in all, I would say a very successful weekend.
Yeah, successful weekend for the general grid life for sure.
I really wanted there to be the GA go out and get stupid vibe.
Yeah, there was none of that at all.
Didn't happen, which I was saddened by. But it was still a pretty good weekend overall. So
yeah, I was going to say, besides some mechanical failures, obviously not just mine, like there's a bunch of others, which is always a letdown for that. Whoever that driver is, that team, that group, like that's always like a damper.
Right.
But in general, like the Gridlife vibes are always good. So like even if your car breaks down, like you're pissed about it, like me, for example, I'll use me as an example. Like when that happens, I get really bummed. I just need to be alone for a minute because like I'm not just thinking about the fact that I just spent all this like that's where it usually goes to me. Like I spent all this fucking money to get here, and then I got to spend all this more money to fix this. What a fucking waste! Like that's always where I'm at because like obviously I don't have money falling out of my ass to do this.
Yeah,
I'm doing this because I budget X amount of money to do it, and when that money runs out, my season's over.
Right.
Like unless I start stealing from my joint account that my wife notices, and she's like, "What are you doing?" Like,
none of your business.
I'm out of fund money. I'm stealing from us. Then it doesn't go over well. But to be fair, when we do events together like this, where she comes to the event, and then something like this happens, and then I'm like brainstorming what I want to do because like ideally I don't want to run with the VQ 35DE. I want to run with the HR.
Right.
That's a better engine. But like nothing fucking transfers over. Like
I know you were saying like even
the flywheel, the clutch, the radiator, like literally everything has to be changed. I'm like, well, if I do that, I'm gonna go.
The radiator, really?
I can't even use the same radiator. I might be able to. I don't know, but like they're different. They are different. So like I'd have to
That's so ridiculous.
So it's just like I'm pricing it out, going like, well, then I need a totally new wiring harness, and at this point, like if I'm gonna go that far, I'm getting a standalone.
Yeah, I mean,
so then it's like, well, then I'm getting
when in Rome, right?
Yeah, so it's just like then I'm like I had it all listed out. I was like, and this is just
$15,000 later. And you've got an engine swap.
Yeah.
How they creep up on you, Robbie.
So I was looking at the list just going like, this is the direction I want to go, but there's no money in the banana stand.
Right.
Like, so I'm going to run the DE as long as the DE will let me, and then we'll cross that bridge eventually. But like I just poured all this money.
Well, I mean, I can see if something pops up.
Sure.
You find a deal on a couple of the parts, maybe start buying some things, putting some stuff together.
For sure. But like, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to go out and buy a $1,500 engine.
You're not going to have an HR in the car by Harlan Park.
No. I have no intention of having it done by next year either.
Right.
This is just like, I know what I want to do, but
right.
It's just the money's not there.
Is that the long-term platform?
I don't know. I mean, I like the Z a lot, but
would it be easier just to buy an HR car?
And just cage it, be done with it? Yeah, probably.
Or find a caged one?
And transfer all the other parts.
Just
and then
find
transfer
a caged one?
Yeah, just get a caged HR and then transfer like all the suspension bits.
It's wrapped, so who cares?
Right.
Like you just wrap it again.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah.
And then you can sell this one.
There's that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really want to go that route at all, honestly. So I want to I just want to drive it and improve on myself. And that was kind of the point. Like I didn't want to do anything dramatic to it this year. And then of course it just didn't work.
Yeah.
But where was I going?
Talking about bringing Jess.
Oh, but yeah, when I bring Jess to these events and stuff like this happens, and then I'm like kind of planning out like best case scenario, like if the money was there, what I'd like to do, and then like what I can do feasibly with the money I have. It was the same thing that happened when the bearing spun on the LS when she was there. And like on the drive home, she's like, "Well, if we use this much money from the account, you could do this." I'm like, "We're not."
Stop it.
Like I appreciate where you're at with this, but like you're as bad as I am because she feels bad because I'm obviously disappointed. And like,
well, and
and she's supportive, as supportive as one can be.
Right. I mean, she had a fun weekend. She enjoyed.
She really enjoyed it, and has every intention of being at every single one she can.
Right.
And that's amazing.
Right.
It makes me very happy. But yeah, so like we were doing that. Like she's trying to like be supportive and like because she's that person that needs someone there. Like if she's having a rough day, she needs like that friend to like lean on, like literally lean on.
Right.
And I'm more of I'm having a bad day. Just let me go sit in the woods.
Right.
Like I'm like a dog that's like politely crawling into the woods to die by itself. That's what I do when I'm having a bad day. I just let me go crawl into the woods. I'll be by myself for a minute, and then we can talk when I've composed myself.
Right. Somewhere in the middle.
Yeah. So like it depends. Like if I have the right, and again, it's impossible for someone to gauge this on their own. But like if someone matches my level of like the support I need in this moment, then I can lean on them. But if they're not doing that, get the fuck away from me. And I can't tell you what that level is because it changes on the fly.
Right.
So like if someone's like, and sometimes I'll be like, I'm ready for a joke and we can laugh about it. And if I'm not ready and you make the joke, I'm like, I fucking hate you right now. Get away from me. So it's a balancing act. So like I don't know. I just in times of great anger, I need to be alone. But
I mean, I came over and tried to like make sure you didn't need anything. Try to be helpful.
Yeah, I know it's one of those things like there wasn't really anything anyone could do.
Well, when we were first starting to diagnose,
yeah,
I was ready to dive in there and help you figure it out. And then when I realized that, like when you were trying to epoxy that shit back together, me hanging over your shoulder and looking in the rear quarter window like this is not going to fucking help.
No.
So just make my presence known.
Yep.
Let you be aware that I'm there if you need something, and hang back a little bit. Yeah, that's all I need. That's all I can do.
Be within shouting distance in case I need a gopher. Because
that's all I can do.
Yeah, at that point, the weekend was over already at that point.
Like I was ready to fucking tear that fuel system off the car if we had to.
Yeah.
But
and we basically did. Like my ham-fisted hand, I just broke it.
Yeah.
And in all reality, I can only imagine how many times that's been
taken in and out.
Like that specific fuel sender has been taken in and out of the car. 'Cause I've done it a couple times. I know Josh did it a couple times. Bailey, I apologize. I know Bailey took it out a couple times. So who knows how much stress was on that? It could have popped off in a race for all I know. Because for how easy that thing just like,
yeah.
It was probably just a matter of time.
I mean,
so in all reality, this could be a blessing, and I could have saved myself a lot of pain and
well, had that have broken
on track
in the wrong situation, it could have caused a fire.
Exactly. So like, looking at it this way, I was like, had it been like a thing where it was just like that, I was a complete moron and that broke it, then I could be really angry at myself. But like, I looked at the situation like this thing damn near fell apart in my hands, so it was probably about ready to go.
Right.
So it's probably not the worst thing that had happened. It could have waited until race 4.
Yeah.
But, oh well. But
I got a carbon fiber end plate though, Robbie.
Yep, that should go right here on the wall next to my Datsun painting.
Yeah, your Datsun. That's what that is.
Datsun painting, yep. I will say huge kudos to the Gridlife family all the way around. Everyone that was in the paddock, everyone that was on track, crews, friends, family, everybody that was there. I can't speak for Gridlife or Jabay or any of those people, but I was genuinely proud of the way everyone conducted themselves, both on and off track, and like just the vibe that they gave off to people that weren't familiar about Gridlife couldn't have been better. Right. The racing on track was so clean, so good, so fun. Like you had people that were camping that were stopping what they were doing to watch GLTC and Time Attack.
Yeah.
Not just GLTC, Time Attack. Like people were stopping what they were doing to watch Time Attack. And it was like people that have no interest in it beyond just the fact that there's racing on track. Like, well, these are cool.
Yeah.
And they stopped. They literally stopped what they were doing to watch Gridlife.
Right.
And then people ventured over and were more serious about the cars then. It was awesome. And then comparing it to how poorly Porsche Cup was performed on track and like just they
aren't. But they should be genuinely embarrassed about their performance this weekend.
They should be.
They're not.
No. Well, and then like even just like the holier than thou attitude that they had when they walked, like because we walked up there and just, like Jess and I literally just walked through the paddock and like there was it felt like a WRL event, but only the snooty assholes,
right?
Because like WRL has like the big haulers and like people with a lot of money and people that take it very serious.
Yeah.
But they still kind of have that like grassroots vibe where they're like they know that this is for fun,
right?
So that when someone's walking by, they're not just like, "Oh yeah, what are you doing over here?" Like, but you definitely got that vibe at the Porsche paddock. Like, you're not supposed to be here. This is our paddock,
right?
Who are you to stand next to my Porsche? I don't know, and maybe it was just like in my head, but it sure didn't. It was not good vibes.
I know Adam said to us in our little group chat that if this is how we did Road America every year, that would make him happy.
For sure.
Like if the way that Gridlife gets to go to Road America is because we're going there as the support series from here on out.
Yep, that'd be great.
That's perfect.
Yep. No, I think I can't speak. I can only base it on what I've seen and kind of like the hearsay. But my understanding is that NASCAR and Road America had nothing bad to say about the way Gridlife conducted themselves in every way.
I can't imagine that.
I'd be shocked. I'd be shocked.
I guess going into the weekend, I could only have assumed that was the way it was going to be.
For sure.
I mean, I know that Gridlife probably has this like dirtbag
party attitude, like we're here.
No reputation.
Yeah,
but there is no group that runs it more seriously. Both the people who are running it and the drivers on the track,
for sure.
So,
yeah, so even in the evenings, like everyone's partying or whatever.
Right.
No one's being destructive. No one's like ruining the fact that we're here.
Right.
It was awesome. It was really good.
Yeah.
So legitimately, everyone that was at that event should be very proud of themselves.
We have the quietest GT500 in the planet.
Yeah. Did Nick buy an exhaust specifically to make it not sound like the OEM? Because it is so quiet.
And it makes remarkably more power than the stock car.
Yeah, for sure.
I have no idea what he runs on that, but it's way quieter than a stock one.
Yep. But it's got noise. I mean,
it sounds good.
Yeah,
it's not obnoxious.
And I appreciate that.
Right. That's just how good Gridlife is.
Yeah.
Even our Mustang guys are better.
They are. Yep. No, it was. Yeah. Besides my car issues, everything else was excellent about the weekend. It really was.
I would love to do more support series races. That was a lot of fun.
Yep. Yeah, because because if it was just a Gridlife weekend or even just like a TT weekend, if something like that happens, I'm like, man, everything I paid to be here is just like gone, right? I still got to do the NASCAR race. I still got to watch all the. I get to take part of the event, and so it's like I got. I could say like, I got 3 tickets with my pass to these NASCAR races. And I was like, that's a $330 value right there.
Right.
So I mean, that's it. Like because I don't have a lot of money. I do think of things that way.
Right.
Like my value per dollar.
Ryan Seiler was there with Dalton this weekend, not driving, just there,
just
helping Dalton. Nobody really helps Dalton. We're there if he needs it, but we're also there to like make fun of him.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I helped him.
Ryan was there, and Ryan and I were talking at one point about like we should just go spectate races as a group instead. More often, because so here's the thing, I feel like you have at least 75 to 80% of the fun minimum
for sure
that you do when you're there with the car.
Yep.
Maybe more
some weekends.
And also at any given point in time during the weekend, I have at least one crabby friend when we're racing.
Typically, yeah.
Well, we don't have that if we're not racing. If we're just there,
you can still have crabby.
If we're just there to be silly and have fun and watch race cars go faster around corners, we don't get crabby. We just enjoy ourselves.
Yeah. Next year will be I have it planned because we already bought we paid for the flat, but next year will be the first time I go to a race just to spectate in years.
Yeah.
It's gonna be awesome.
That's a little different.
Yeah. Which is also why I'm probably not going to race a lot next year.
It's fine. We'll figure it out.
It's a huge vacation.
Yeah. I think that's all I got.
You got to. Nope. You got to.
You didn't
even bring it.
I was going to bring it next time.
Okay.
Because we had so much other stuff going on.
That's fair.
Brad, I haven't forgot about your rocks.
Minerals.
Also, I haven't had time to open it up and figure out what the fuck's going on there.
Okay.
So we'll deal with it next week.
Next week. All right. Shut this down. We had a good time.
Yeah.
All right. We'll catch everybody next week.